feel good food is always that, which is not good for health.
No, that's a misconception. It is all about balance. It is only in the last 20-30 years that the food is so processed and it is literally chemically engineered in such a way, it then triggers your dopamine loop. Because if you're eating sugar, it hits the same receptors that cocaine does in your brain.
मुझे ना आजकल कुछ भी खाने का दिल नहीं कर रहा है, मतलब मन ही नहीं होता है, बहुत डिप्रेस्ड, बहुत स्ट्रेस्ड आउट, एंजाइटी, तो कुछ फील हो रहा है ऐसे अजीब सा.
So, new research, there is something called as nutrition psychology, and basically what it says is that आप जो खाते हो, that has an impact on your mind, and your mental health has an impact on your gut. So it's a bi-directional flow. Your gut, which is your stomach, and your brain are connected with one single nerve directly, straight. They talk to each other. In fact, your gut is called your second brain now. It's called enteric nervous system. So what you're eating has a huge impact on your mood. So if anything that you're eating is basically not healthy, if it is junk food, if it is processed sugar, if it is inflammatory food, if it is refined oils, bad quality oil, fried food, ready to eat packaged food, and no real good quality food, then that is going to have an effect on your mood. Immediately, maybe at that moment you might feel good and you might feel okay after eating a slice of cake, but after 2 hours or 3 hours, when that sugar spike crashes, so when it crashes, that is when you feel anxious, you feel low, you feel that your mood is not good, you feel depressed. So what you eat directly has an impact on your mood. Again, your mood directly has an impact on your appetite. Everybody says, oh, I got the dopamine hit. So what is serotonin? What is dopamine? Serotonin is your feel-good hormone. 90% of the serotonin is not produced in the brain. It is produced in your gut. Your gut bacteria produces serotonin. So if you don't have good gut bacteria, then you're automatically not producing serotonin.
But feel-good food is always that, which is not good for health type food.
No, that's a misconception. It is all about balance. It is only in the last 20-30 years that the food is so processed and it is literally chemically engineered in such a way that it then triggers your dopamine loop. Because if you're eating sugar, it hits the same receptors that cocaine does in your brain. It's as addictive. If sugar was discovered now, it would probably have been categorized as a drug and asked not to eat. Processed sugar, I'm talking about processed sugar, I'm not talking about natural sugar. Processed sugar, it's that addictive. So if you're going to have sugar, automatically your dopamine receptors in your brain are lit up and your brain craves addiction. So it's again going to ask you for the same amount of sugar from the food. So basically you're creating a loop, and that's why you crave the junk food. So it's not that you can't break that habit. You can of course break that habit, and the first step there is awareness. So getting your diet right, getting your nutrition right, getting your gut health right, your probiotics right is very important for your mood, for your mental health. And of course for your mental health you have to do certain things, which is like socialize, have a set of friends and family as your support system, join a hobby class, do something which makes you happy. Which boosts your mood. Of course, yoga helps. Any type of exercise. In fact, exercise helps you release endorphins. Endorphins are your feel-good hormones again. Any type of exercise, whether it can be just a 20-minute walk post-dinner, but it will help you boost your mood. Sunlight. Your sunlight, in fact, serotonin, other than being produced in your gut, when you're in the sunlight and the sunlight hits your eye directly, your body produces serotonin. That is a cue. What do most of us do? We just spend all the day inside, either sitting in front of the screen or an artificial light. So we are not doing naturally what our body has been doing since evolution to battle depression. And then we say we are depressed. We don't eat the right kind of food. We don't eat the... Not saying that depression is not a real illness. Of course, it is a real illness. It needs the right diagnosis. It needs the right kind of health. But also the foundation has to be correct for that.
Right.
After you've done all of that, then you can address other issues.